Evening, everybody. How we doing? How we doing? So, no trades today. Obviously, we had FOMC. We had the interest rate decision later in the day. So, when I woke up and I kind of like, I feel like the night before I was aware of it, and then like I didn't think of it much. But then by the time I woke up, I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna trade. I'm not gonna trade today. It's gonna be very choppy. I remember waking up, seeing my chart, and I was like, yeah, no. I just decided to sleep in because this was choppy. If you look at a chart for New York session, I mean, we were in a pretty like tight range. Just New York. I mean, it's a 100 point range. You could have scalped this, sure, but to me, it didn't look like much was gonna happen today. So yeah, and if you throw in a VWAP, say from session reopen, and make it the overnight to add some bands on there, like we were at all time highs. Then FOMC later in the day, like if if you have enough experience, you could just tell. Because even removing this, right, like looking at the first 30 minutes price action, it's like we've already made new all time highs off this, right? What do? We tapped the overnight view up and then traded higher. Could have you profited off of this? Sure, maybe. 50 points, 55 points if you took that. But honestly, I'm okay with not trading today. Um, because at the end of the day, I wanted to see what happened, right? And we see that what gave a good move was actually FOMC. We ended up getting the rate cut that was expected. It was like a 99% chance of us getting that rate cut, and it was exactly what we got. That 25 basis points rate cut, so a quarter of a point rate cut, and then we also had a speech afterwards. I feel like I'm pretty new to getting a good understanding of macro context with news, especially with like rate cut, interest rate decisions, stuff like that. I'm more used to like kind of stepping away from that and just trading price action. But I am trying to get better at understanding how price action affects the market. And I watched this play out in front of my eyes as I was listening to Powell speak, saw the interest rate decision, and I figured if we get that rate cut, I feel like it's going to be bearish initially, and then we could pump. So I figured it'd be a dump and pump. And it kind of was. If you look at the time of the release, we put in this upper wick and then dumped afterwards when Powell started speaking. So pretty much what I figured was gonna happen. I thought about adding a sell stop in the low over here, which would have probably gotten me a good profit, right? Like 150 points. But I decided to wait it out. I decided to not gamble the news. I mean, there was like a bit of um, a thought process behind it. Like we had Asia lows untouched over here. We also had like an hourly gap that hadn't been filled over here as well. Both of those straws ended up getting hit. I believe there was also a 15-minute immediate low somewhere in here. Yeah, right here. So there were some confluences that I was thinking about trading towards, but at the end of the day, I figured, you know what? If let's say I recover my account, it was gonna feel as if I didn't deserve it or something like that because, like I said, I'm pretty new to it. So, like if I had the sell stop here, it would have looked like something like this. Um, this kind of would not have gotten me in. I would have probably had to put my stop all the way up here to kind of consider that wick, or if you just decided to enter after the news release, put your stop at the wick, and then maybe just target Asia lows. Pretty solid R 2.5. If you wanted to target all the way down here, that's also, I mean, a profitable trade. But at the end of the day, um, I'm not the type to trade FOMC news or any high impact news. Still pretty new to that. I feel like once I've turned profitable on my own with just regular trading, I could afford to, you know what, I'm gonna just buy an eval, see if I can pass it with news. Because I know like some um, well known traders and profitable traders do this to kind of just speed run the getting more allocation. And I can see it, like if you have enough market experience and you know how market reacts to certain news, you can profit off that. So yeah, I mean, it did what I told myself it was going to do initially, like a dump, then a pump. And I didn't expect it to move like this, honestly. I figured it'd be quicker. Um, but we had an initial dump, traded into these hourly gaps, respected them, and then put in a new all time high. So going into tomorrow, I believe we do have uh, the two presidents meeting for the trade negotiation. So we're gonna have to be very aware and careful with with that. Just kind of be aware of what it can do to the market. You can have a very impulsive move out of nowhere. So just be very patient and wanting to see something clear. We're still in the context of all-time highs. I could see us trading lower. Um, but at the end of the day, we also got that interest rate cut. So it's not necessarily a reason for us to go lower. Technically, the interest rate cut is a reason for us to still go higher. So, yeah. Very brief trade recap because, again, no trades. FOMC day. Decided to sit it out, let it play out in front of me. Had an idea, and I was like, I'm gonna watch it play out. And that's exactly what happened. Um, so, yeah. Um, Not much to say other than that. Just gonna have to wait it out and see what we do tomorrow. To be honest, I'm not convinced about us still being at all time highs. I feel like something's gotta give. Um, and I feel like one of the things that's making me be like, I don't know if this is gonna hold or not, is this massive gap that we had at the beginning of the week. So, yeah. I mean, if we eventually do end up getting here, I'd be looking for longs all the way down here. But for us to get there, we'd have to dump almost like 500 points, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 560 points from where we're currently at. So yeah, pretty interesting times for sure. You know, we can't really fight all-time highs. You don't want to try and call the top. I feel like the only reason I'd be looking for shorts is if we maybe sweep a session higher low or create some bearish structure or create an internal low volume node, a bearish low volume node, respect it, and then continue lower. Um, yeah, that's probably the only reason I'd be looking for shorts. If we create a internal low volume node, respect it, and then we still have our clear draws and liquidity. Like we have a lot of draws to the downside, but if it just looks like we're continuing higher, I'd just be targeting all-time highs and IB extensions. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up today's trading recap. Hopefully I'll catch you all tomorrow with a banger trade, but might not trade tomorrow depending on how price is moving. It might be a very slow day because if we look at just the calendar over here, we had FOMC today, and then tomorrow there's nothing. So our week is pretty much done in terms of news. Yeah, I actually thought tomorrow was Friday, but I guess it's Thursday. So 2 more trading days of the week. Pretty interesting. Um, that's funny that I thought it was gonna be Friday tomorrow, but yeah, gonna have to see. Just watch it play out. Maybe tomorrow we just continue higher. Once again, we're at all-time highs, and Asia session since we reopened. I mean, we gapped down, and we just been we consolidated for a little bit, moved a bit, not that much of a range. If you measure this range, it's 100 points, so it's not like it's a very small range. It's a tradable range in and of itself. But yeah, right now it looks like we're wanting to continue higher. Might just have to let price do its thing and give us something clear. And if we don't get it, then no trade. And if you see me take a bullshit trade, call me out. Call me out because there's not really a reason for me to trade anything that isn't clear. And yeah, ES. One thing that is pretty interesting is that ES actually did not make a new all-time high off of this impulse move by the end of the day. So market on close actually put in a new all-time high on NQ. So you could see this as an SMT. You could interpret that as a sign that we might actually be done pushing higher. ES did not make a new all-time high, as you can see here, right? So there's your SMT there, and your SMT here. So very interesting stuff, but like I said, all-time highs context. You don't want to fight all-time highs unless it's insanely clear that we're wanting to head lower and take out our draws. First one being previous day's low, which is also the FOMC low, FOMC speech low, not really the data low itself of the news release. So, yeah. Anyways, that wraps up the trade recap of the day. No trade day. Sat on my hands today, and we're chilling. Gonna have to recover this account, claw myself out of drawdown. I know I can pull it off, and if I don't, that's totally fine too. Alright, y'all. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.